Marty Schottenheimer, tremendous turnaround in San Diego a year ago. A team that had been 12-4 turns around to go, or a team that had been 4-12 turns around to go 12-4. Just a remarkable coaching job by Marty Schottenheimer. And Mike Sherman in Green Bay has had success. Led the Packers to their third straight division title. They were 10-6 after a very slow start.
Of course, Mike Sherman is in the last year of a contract, and he would like to, I'm sure, come back and coach Drew Brees and find out how Aaron Rodgers will wind up someday.
67 degrees at game time. The forecast for some light showers, possibly a thunderstorm moving through Green Bay. Ryan Longwell has it teed up as Green Bay will kick off, and Darren Sproles out of Kansas State, an outstanding kick returner and running back who they hope can win the job. Tim Dwight no longer with the ball club. From the 5. Shy of the 25-yard line. Drew Brees coming off a remarkable season where he went to the Pro Bowl, a game away from the scrap heap, 27 touchdown passes, only 7 picks, and he threw for over 3,100 yards. That was after 2 mediocre seasons. He had the 3rd highest quarterback rating in the NFL. And that got him an $8 million contract, a 1-year deal as the franchise player.
That's not so bad, though, is it? $8 million?
No, you franchise me anytime. So San Diego will start from its own 24-yard line. We will not see LaDainian Tomlinson. Michael Turner, number 33, will be the running back for the Chargers. And he'll get the carry. Turner with a nice hole off the left side. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets out across the 40 for a gain of 17. Turner, a little used as a rookie, as you might imagine, behind Tomlinson.
Yeah, but when you got a guy like LaDainian Tomlinson, and you know that you're not going to play much, and when you do, it's like a situation he has right here. Turner, when you do, you got to give it all.
And that's the perfect way you want to see an offense start. If you're Drew Brees, you want to come out of the blocks and get a big game.
Turner again. Same hole off the left side. Not quite the same result. Picks up about 6 that time. Turner at Northern Illinois ended up as the number 13 all-time rusher in NCAA history. Nearly 5,000 yards.
A little bit heavier than LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian goes about 220. He's 237, so he packs a pretty good wallop for a little guy.
If you're looking for Antonio Gates, the all-pro tight end, he is not with the ball club. Justin Peele, number 84, is the starter at tight end. They want to work to find some guys who can play in the backup role as Peele got it and then fumbled the football.
No, they're going to call it. Don't bobble the catch. They're going to bring it back.
Ahmad Carroll picked the ball up and took off for the end zone. There was nobody there to stop him. It looked like Hannibal Navies was the guy who knocked it loose.
That play may not count, but if you're the new defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers, Jim Bates, this is what you want to see. You want to see people around the football. You want to see guys knocking the ball loose and creating turnovers. Mark Roman comes in and knocks the ball loose. Ahmad Carroll picks it up. Doesn't matter.
Navies held him up, and Roman blasted it.
Well, you can just see that Drew Brees, what he does not do is go away from his tight end. Even though Gates isn't here, it doesn't matter. They still, their offense is geared around that tight end.
Darren Sproles, described by Marty Schottenheimer as an electric running back, is in the ballgame. On 3rd and short, Brees out in the flat. He's got a first down as Sproles, the rookie out of Kansas State, will gain 20 more yards.
The thing that Drew Brees has done is he has established himself as the leader. He did it last year before training camp. A week before camp, he went to Marty Schottenheimer and said, Marty, look, I want to have a team meeting. And what he did is he went in not knowing he would be the quarterback and talked to the team about and said, what do we want? And he's a very confident guy, and he set the tone right at that meeting and carried it on. into that season.
And you could tell after we talked to these guys last night that they're really, they're all right, 12-4, and they got knocked off in the playoffs. They're not satisfied with anything because they really realize we didn't do anything. We just got there, and we fumbled it when we got there.
Turner is back in, goes straight up the middle for a couple this time. Let's check in with Susie. She has more on Drew Brees.
Yeah, well, he wasn't just the fairy tale story of last season. He also made NFL history. His numbers from 03 to 04 show the greatest single year-to-year improvement. And he shared with us some of the steps to his breakthrough. First was determining that 03 was strictly a fluke. He's such a confident guy. He was determined that he had to go through that kind of adversity than to truly find the success. And he came up with a plan in his own mind of what he wanted to change. Diet, strength, approach, attitude, and then he reached out for help to get it done.
All right, thanks, Susie. Brees right now facing a second and long. Good protection, pumps, goes deep, nobody home but a Packer. Intercepted in the end zone, and it's Nick Collins. And Collins, the second-round draft choice out of Bethune-Cookman, brings it out to the 12-yard line. Somebody made a misread there. Was it Brees or his receiver? Marty Schottenheimer wants to know.
Nice.
Very nice. Do you think they're...
Oh, yeah. They're plastic. And they're spectacular.
Just in time for summer, it's the Coors Light Cooler Box. 18 16-ounce plastic bottles that stay colder longer. Just ice it up, take it out, and enjoy. The Coors Light Cooler Box.
Wow. Close up, they look even bigger.
0-0 in Green Bay. Let's go back and see who made the mistake on the last play. Joe?
Well, you take a look at the bottom of the frame. That's Eric Parker, number 88, the wide receiver. When they get a press in his face, he's supposed to continue up the field. What he does is he stops and basically hangs Drew Brees out. Now, Nick Collins does a good job of intercepting the pass 9 yards deep, but he should have stayed in the end zone.
Amon Green starts the Green Bay offense out to the 17-yard line. Brett Favre, his 15th year in the league, the most durable quarterback of all time, and not only that, one of the most durable players of all time. And Joe mentioned it in the open. I've never seen him thinner either. I've never seen him in better shape. He looks terrific.
He's 212 pounds. I mean, that's the lightest he's been. Consider 15 years ago when he came here, he was 252. He was a little chunky guy at that time.
Well, he said he had a beer gut, he said, but he carried it well. Green lowers his head and gets across the 20. We spoke to Brett on how he had rededicated himself physically this offseason and why.
Most of my stuff is making a guy miss, making an awkward throw. And there's no way at 15 years all of a sudden now I can say I'm confined to the pocket. I'm not in as good a shape as I have been before, so now I got to do this because my mind's not going to allow me to do that. And I don't want to embarrass myself when I take off running or try to make a guy miss, and maybe I do, but I make an awkward throw and it just looks horrible. Because even though my arm feels great, my legs and my body have to be in sync to make those. I mean, there's a method to the madness. It looks ugly sometimes, but it works.
Well, that was a pass that looked ugly sometimes.
It did.
That one went up in the
Steve
air.
Foley got right in his face and batted it up. It was nearly intercepted.
Well, the charges are offside, so it's going to be first down for the Packers. But, when you look at this guy, and when you see him on the field, I don't think that he has ever been embarrassed.
Well, the other thing, too, Paulie, is his game is not just throwing the ball from the pocket. He is so much more dangerous when he gets on the edges, he gets outside. Then he can just load it and fire it 8 miles down the field.
First down, Green Bay on the penalty. Green swallowed up in the middle. And this San Diego defense, led by Jamal Williams, the nose man there, who was so critical of their run defense a year ago, was really good against the run. Third in the NFL. They were 18th overall, and most of that credit has to go to Wade Phillips There are some defensive coordinators and some head coaches in this league, no matter where they go, you know they are going to have a dramatic improvement in that team.
Well, and you talked to the players, and Foley yesterday, Steve Foley, number 53, the linebacker, said, our whole game starts right in the middle with Jamal Williams. If we don't have him, we don't have much.
Favre under pressure, throws, and got it down the middle of the field to David Martin, his tight end.
What? That's exactly what Brett Favre is all about. He knows where everybody is. Now he gets a free runner from the defense. They don't block everyone. Watch as he moves to the right. There's the play action fake. There you go. You got the free runner, the linebacker, but he knows exactly where to go with the football. Gets it off quickly. Martin makes the reception.
Martin is the backup to Bubba Franks. They are still negotiating with their starting tight end. Hope to have him in sooner than later. Green trying to pick his way and gets 3 to midfield. Jonathan Pollard, the rookie, with the tackle. Ahman Green, 4.7-yard career average. That's #1 active of any running back in the NFL, and he's had 5 straight years over 1,000 yards.
We hear all this to do about contracts, players and contracts and everything. Ahman Green is in the last year of his contract.
Haven't heard a peep.
You haven't heard a peep from this professional football player who's dedicated himself to his teammates.
Just like T.O. Oh, well, not quite. We'll talk about that a little more. Ahman Green trying to turn the corner and can't. Matt Wilhelm, the inside linebacker playing for the slightly injured Donnie Edwards, makes the tackle.
Well, let me just tell you something. This Green Bay Packer team lost 2 starting guards on this football team. And their staple is running the football with Ahman Green. You could talk about Brett Favre and pulling it out on 3rd down and things, but Brett Favre will tell us they like to run the football. And the most important 2 players on this team are the guards. And they're trying to find...
Number 4 is pretty
yeah, I know. I'm talking about the running game. These 2 guys, they've got to find 2 guards that are going to be consistent in this offense.
You're right. Tony Fisher, the 3rd down back, has checked in.
Offside again, San Diego.
Flags are down, far down the sideline, and just off the fingertips of Javon Walker.
I'll tell you something you just don't ever do, and especially with Favre. Don't ever give him a free play, because I'm going to tell you something. Walker took off. He knew. He saw the flag. Favre saw the flag. And this was almost a completion. I mean, this went right off of Walker's hand. This was almost a perfect throw. Don't hesitate when that flag goes down.
Did you get the sense talking to Brett that this year just is different for him? He's gone through so much over the last couple of years. You know, his wife, Deanna, going through the cancer battles. Now she seems to have a clean bill of health at this point. You know, there's been deaths in the family.
Right.
He's been burdened by so much. This year coming in, he seems like it's all about football. He seems that he's got his focus back.
I think rededicating himself physically helped that too. Najee Davenport checks in for the first time at running back, the 250-pounder. He is a load. Hit just as he got to the line of scrimmage again by Matt Wilhelm, who's trying to take advantage of the opportunity to play inside in this 34.
Well, you know, we talk so much about the San Diego Chargers, and you talk about Jamal Williams in the middle, but if you take a look at their 4 linebackers, they're as good as there are in the National Football League. I don't care. You've got Godfrey Foley and Donnie Edwards, who's not here, and Ben Lieber, excuse me, he's not here either. He's not playing. But these linebackers are outstanding.
And travel, too. A lot.
And then he got another one at number 1.
B.J. Sander will come on to punt. He was drafted a year ago, did not kick. He was on the inactive roster because he'd been so inconsistent. It's his job to win or lose here in this preseason. He gets this one down inside the 5-yard line. Excellent punt by Sander, and Robert Ferguson, one of the wide receivers down on special teams, to put it down at the 2 after a punt of 42. That'll make Sander feel better. Preseason coverage continues. San Diego will start at its own 2-yard line with Andrew Pinnock out of South Carolina.
Jim Bates comes over from the Miami Dolphins as the new defensive coordinator. He can only hope he's had the kind of will have the kind of success that Donnie Henderson's had with the Jets, Wade Phillips with the Chargers, Greg Williams with the Redskins, and of course Dick LeBeau in Pittsburgh, and try and get this defense up to speed. He said it's been tough with so many guys hurt just to teach techniques.
Highly respected. That's Al Harris, who was his best player in the secondary, a unit that was really torched a year ago. Not only in pass coverage, but they didn't tackle that well. Turner makes it to the 10 and no further. Hit first by Cullen Jenkins, who's the brother of the Panthers defensive lineman Chris Jenkins.
Well, in Bates's defense, you know, he likes to press the corners, but you only really have one corner, Al Harris, that can press. You also like to get the rush on the passer from the outside. You got KGB. That's the only one.
And you look at these numbers, Paul, and it bears out exactly what you're saying. What he did in Miami, he can hope for the same success here when you look at the rankings of his defense.
You know, and you look at defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators and talk about, well, this guy's got a great system, but it's the players that are in that system that make this thing work. And right now at the Green Bay Packers, he doesn't have those pieces.
San Diego on 3rd and 2 goes 3 wide. Breeze downfield, wide open, and dropped. Al Harris was beaten badly. Eric Parker, and that ball was just off of his fingertips.
They got the coverage they wanted that time. They were going to run a little stop and go on the interception down towards the end zone. This time, Eric Parker just runs by Al Harris.
Well, was that ball laid out beautifully? I mean, that was about 2 inches from being just a great throw.
Well, this has got to scare him to death, guys, because if Al Harris is going to make these kind of mistakes, he is by far their best guy in that secondary.
He's their press guy.
Ooh. Mike Cyphers comes on to punt. Antonio Chapman will take it inside the 40-yard line to the 38. A return of 7 after a poor kick of only 35. Justin Peel makes the tackle on special teams. Sold out every intra-squad scrimmage since 1960. The other night they sold 63,000 tickets for a scrimmage
with the Buffalo Bills.
Favre, play action. Plenty of time. Dumps it off over the middle to Green, who's down to the 34-yard line. Taken down by the veteran Randall Godfrey. Javon Walker, who had such an outstanding season a year ago. 89 catches, 1,382 yards, which was 3rd in the NFL. Drew the ire of his quarterback, Brett Favre, earlier this preseason.
And Brett Favre, I believe, was right. All he simply said is you have a contract, honor it. And Javon Walker, to his credit, has not missed any camp. He came in, made his statement, and came in and said, I'm going to go to work. I want to prove that last year was not a fluke.
Ahman Green fumbled that football. And it looks like San Diego was able to get it back.
9 of the Chargers believe it's their ball.
And now, of course, the Green Bay players are pointing that they've got it.
And the Chargers say they have it, so they're leaving.
Matt Wilhelm right in the middle of the action again, and the ball clearly came out of the arms of Ahman Green.
Well, this is Wade Phillips' defense, and you watch these guys attack. How many white shirts do you see?
A lot.
You see 5 of them in there, don't you?
Back in Green Bay, scoreless game between the Chargers and the Packers as the first quarter is winding down. LaDainian Tomlinson, who will not play tonight, always used sparingly in preseason. Talked to him yesterday. He said, you know, a lot of people have talent. The difference in between being really good and being at the top is your heart, and this kid's got heart. Michael Turner filling in for him tonight, and Turner has run pretty well. He's out to the 44-yard line. Tomlinson, 1,200 yards rushing, 50 catches, 10 touchdowns or more, 4 consecutive seasons. Who else did it? Emmitt Smith and Marshall Faulk. You're in that company, you're doing all right.
You know what, talking to him last night, one of the first things out of his mouth, boy, was it a joy to talk to him. LaDainian said, I respect this game.
Yeah.
I respect this game, and you must respect it.
Breeze throws on the run and has his tight end, Justin Peel, will check the penalty, which is in the secondary. Peel out of Oregon, a 4th-round draft choice 4 years ago. And there's Pete Morelli, our referee tonight here in Green Bay. Holding will go against the Packers. Now let's go to Chris Berman in the studio. A SportsCenter 30 at 30 update. Chris?
Hello, Michael. Thank you. Masters, British Open. What about the PGA for Tiger Woods? Well, at Hot Baltusrol, he was not. 5 over 75, including 1 birdie, 4 bogeys, 1 double. 6 times for the lead at 67, including Phil Mickelson. K-Rod in the bottom of the 9th argues with a call. Jose Molina's throw gets away. And Oakland's Jason Kendall in the bottom of the 9th scores. A's take over first in the AL West by winning 5-4. SportsCenter, of course, coming up after the game. We'll see you at halftime. Interview with T.O. as well.
All right, thanks, Boomer. What a way to end the ball game. Jeez.
Talk about little things. How about catching the baseball?
Oh,
isn't that what you're
supposed to do? Yeah,
to catch it and to hit it.
Yeah.
First down at midfield. Turner picking his way through will pick up 4 more. He's already rushed for 42 yards in the first half. Nick Barnett made the tackle. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, you guys were talking about LaDainian Tomlinson, and much of his routine has been influenced by Emmitt Smith. And not only was Emmitt his idol growing up, but they have become friends. Emmitt believed that he waited too long to really take care of his body, so he has shared with LT how to prevent injury: chiropractic, massage, cold tub, diet. And LT's eyeing that prize. All-time leading rusher. First things first, though, his goal for this season, 2,200 yards. He'd like to be the single-season rushing leader.
And he's got the talent to do it, Susie. He's also a tremendous receiver. It depends on, how often they go to him out of the backfield that could affect his rushing totals.
How much for Marty? They say Marty Ball is gone. Forget it. You got LaDainian. You're not going to give him the ball?
Well, I was impressed. He has the same approach that you have, Paul. Massages, diet.
I like
all that stuff.
I got
Exercise.
it. I'm in. Exercise. That's one of my big guys.
He just added so much. It's really funny. He went to the Pro Bowl in 2002, 2004, and he had 100 receptions in 2003 and didn't go.
Yeah, that was a season that was off the charts.
And no one could figure out why he wasn't there.
3rd and 5 for San Diego. Breeze out in the flat. Turner shook one tackle and has a first down. Nice job by Turner to stay in bounds.
And what a great job by Drew Brees. This is the maturity of a quarterback. A couple of years ago, he would not have had the patience. Watch this. He looks downfield to his left, then to the middle, now all the way out to the right. That is scanning the entire football field as a quarterback and knowing where everybody is. That's the difference in Drew Brees in the last couple of years and a few years ago.
Well, he wouldn't have made that throw 2 years ago, but Marty Schottenheimer says with the development of what he has done with his arm, he has got 25% more speed on the ball. Now he's confident in throwing this in that throw.
Sproles is in as the running back, and Sproles, the little guy, will try to go up the middle. Took the initial hit from Ray Thompson, and then Thompson got some help. That will be the end of the first quarter here in Green Bay. The Packers and the Chargers, 0-0 at Lambeau.